Alright, YouTubers, welcome back to War Thunder Ground Forces with the Angry Nerd. And it's time to start reviewing the tanks of the Imperial Japanese Army. Now this is the Type 95 HJohn. The Type 95 HJohn was a light tank used by the Imperial Japanese Army in combat operations of the Second Sino-Japanese War with China, in undeclared border conflicts with the Soviet Union, and in the Second World War. In the early 1930s, the Japanese Army began experimenting with mechanized warfare units combining infantry and tanks. However, the Type 89 medium tank could not keep pace with the motorized infantry, which by truck could move at 40 kilometers per hour or 25 miles per hour. In combat, motorized infantry units could hope to achieve 40 kilometers advance per day, far outpacing the Type 89. For faster transport, tanks of the time could be loaded on trains like most armies. To solve this problem, the Army Technical Bureau proposed a new light tank of 7 tons or less, capable of 40 kilometers per hour. The prototype development started in 1933 and was completed in 1934. Initial tests were positive, but it was considered too heavy at 7.5 tons, so it was reworked, which brought the weight down to 6.5 tons. The infantry branch had doubts as to its capability for infantry support, so it was tested in Manchuria in the winter of 1934 and 1935. The reports were favorable, and a second prototype was built and completed in November 1935. In 1935, at a meeting of the Army Technical Bureau, the Type 95 was proposed as the main tank for mechanized infantry units. The Infantry Command had concerns that the armor was insufficient. However, the Cavalry Command indicated that the improved speed and armament compensated for the thin armor. In the end, the infantry agreed, and the Type 95 was adopted. Production was started in 1936 by Mitsubishi Heavy Industries. Mass production began in 1938, and approximately 2,300 units were produced, making it the most numerous Japanese armored fighting vehicle of the time. In 1935, it was considered to be one of the best light tanks, being armed with a 37mm cannon and powered by a diesel engine, a fuel considered superior by some due to its low volatility. As with most armies of the 1930s, including the U.S. Army, the tank and the light tank in particular were used primarily to support the infantry, or to serve as cavalry reconnaissance, and to a lesser extent as raiding vehicles. Its cross-country speed was about 18 miles per hour, which was comparable to the M3 Stuart's 20 miles per hour, nearly 6 years later in 1941. In armor, road speed, and weaponry, the Type 95 was far inferior to the newer American M3 Stuart. But the environment of the Philippines, where roads were sparse and tank engagements took place at near point-blank range, largely minimized these advantages and allowed the Type 95 to be competitive, as its off-road speed and turret rotation were comparable. The Type 95 proved sufficient against opposing infantry in the campaigns in Manchuria and China, as the Chinese National Revolutionary Army had only 3 tank battalions consisting of Vickers export tanks, German Panzer I light tanks, and Italian CV-33 tankettes as opposition. However, due to the Imperial Japanese Navy getting priority in new technology and steel for warship construction, tanks for the Imperial Japanese Army were relegated to receiving the leftovers. By 1942, Japanese armor remained largely as it did in the 1930s, and new tank development was slow at best. As a result, the Type 95 was forced into engagements with newer, more modern tanks, and like most light tanks, suffered in later tank-on-tank engagements, as it was not designed to fight other tanks. Now in War Thunder, the HJohn is a rank 1 with a battle rating of 1.0. It has a 160 horsepower engine propelling the 7.7 ton vehicle to a top speed of 33 miles per hour. It comes equipped with the 37mm Type 94 cannon. Now I have it assigned to an expert crew with a crew level of 128.5, which gives me a reload of 3.5 seconds. It has an XP reward of 200% and a silver line reward of 30%. So what do I think of the Type 95 HJohn here in War Thunder? Well, pretty much I found it underwhelming, as with most of the Tier 1 Japanese light tanks. Now there are some exceptions that we will go over in some future videos, but most of these Japanese light tanks with the 37 and 57 millimeter guns really lack some hitting power, and they're very lightly armored. So if you have no armor and you have no offense, yeah, you're not doing a whole lot. But that's not to say that you can't do a whole lot. You just don't expect to do very much in these vehicles. Now that being said, why don't we hop into a game and see what I was able to do with the Type 95 HJohn. Okay. Ooh, I can't even start to pronounce the name of this map. Yeah, it's the port map, whatever the name is. Yeah, pronounce it yourselves. So there's only one spawn point. Let's get to it. Here we go. Well, we got about 10 seconds before we spawn in. I'm only taking in about 50 rounds out of the 130. I don't know that it will help, but we will see. And if you're familiar with my playstyle, you know I like to flank. So, flank and spank. Let's try it. Okay, we're gonna head west up toward that grayish section of the map, or at least as far up that way as we can get. Even the little wooden barrier slowed me down. But it's a fairly maneuverable tank as long as you're not hitting stuff. Alright, I think there's a cut through right in here. Okay, so it looks like we're the westernmost vehicle according to the mini-map. Hopefully we won't run into anybody else up here on this road. Okay, I see the first enemy vehicle on the mini-map. Lots of driving, not much fighting. Oh, saw some red. And I also saw a tracer come flying past me. Let's see. That's an HJohn down there. some reason it's not letting me aim at him, but we got him. Let's see. Look at my reticle jumping. Didn't want to aim past that little hole for some reason. Let's see if I can get a better. Oh, shoot. There we go. This turret's hurting. Got one more guy. Let's see if I can get it. There we go. And those guys are behind the building over there. Somebody else right at this corner. We got artillery fire coming in. Alright, I took a hit to the turret. Who's left? One guy in the turret. Dang. Okay, so I need to repair my turret. Just couldn't tell where that sound came from, and I wanted to make sure nobody was over there on the side of me. I'm lucky that I didn't lose a crew member. He just has a headache. Let's see. Really don't have a shot on anybody. Oh, maybe. I did hit him. Go. That's the short gun. I need to be careful. Who's left? Oh, I see him now. One more guy in the turret. Here we go. Okay, there's, oh, there we go. One more guy. There he is. Drop some. Oh, let's do these two guys together. These two. The more there are together, the higher your chances of hitting someone. Let's see, I can't decide whether I want to push down to there or wait for him to come through here. I like this position with the little dirt mounds and all, but I don't know. Two more guys together. Let's see. Alright, we're gonna creep up some. Peek around. Let's see. Looks pretty good. Doesn't mean it'll stay that way. So I got one person around the side of this building, always going around to the other side. Oh, I saw some red. Let's see. Did I just shoot a friendly airplane and get docked for that? Anyway, it's a short gun and I'm working him over. can't tell. I think he's got one more crew member up toward the front, but I really can't get him from here. Set him on fire. All right, finally died. Okay, somebody's gonna be coming out through here in just a minute. Or my team could be bum rushing them. So I guess there's not going to be anybody coming out. I think we can stick a fork in her. She's done. See one more vehicle, but can't drop arty on them too close to the spawn. Now you can't arty the spawn, but dang it, they can drop bombs on you in the spawn all day. I think you ought not be able to bomb the spawn either. Yeah, the whole team is around the spawn. It's a party. And it's over. All right. Oh, research some modifications. Elevation mechanism. Okay, let's do brake system. Look at there, spaded her out. All right, let's see. What's that? Ooh, brown camouflage. Avenger. Rank does not matter. Tank rescuer. Professional. Shadow strike streak. Survivor. Balancer. Heavy metal fury. And the brown camouflage. Not too bad. 6 ground units destroyed. 4th place in the team. 14,989. That's my premium bonus. Take a look at the stats. Yeah. All right, we're gonna save it. Okay, so yeah, I mean, the Japanese reserves are underwhelming at best, but the good thing about the Japanese tanks so far is that I've been able to research through them really quickly. In one day, running the premium account and the boosters, I researched all of the tier 1s and all of the tier 2s in one day. So you can work your way up the tree pretty quickly. Now as you get further on up into the tree, you know, the research takes a good bit longer. But yeah, these tier 1, tier 2s, you can knock them out pretty quick. And when you start getting up into the 2.0 battle rating tanks, they do get a little bit better. So the reserves, the 1.3s, nothing real exciting, with a couple of exceptions we'll go over later in some other videos. But yeah, the HJohn light tank reserve, don't expect much of it, but you know, you can do okay in it. If you've liked this look at the HJohn, hit that like button. If you didn't, don't subscribe if you would. But as always, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Nerd out.